Hello again, everyone. Edwin Learnard back once again in this YouTube astrological segment. I'm going to be talking about Saturn in the first house in a natal chart. Now, first off, what I want to state is some of you may remember when I first started my YouTube astrology channel, I did a series on the planets and the houses, and they're a little bit concise. Some people may refer to them as snappy. So what I decided to do is make another series on them, which the videos will be a little bit longer and more descriptive. So anyway, first up, Saturn in the first house can be comparable to Saturn in Aries, but naturally you've got to blend in the zodiac sign with this. And when you have Saturn in Aries in the first house could be different than Saturn in Libra in the first house, as an example. Saturn in astrology can be connected with one's career, and if you have Saturn in the first house, well, the career may be one in which you would spend a lot of energy on, more so than the average person. It may take more of a toll on your physical body, and people might see that you're very career oriented on a first impression. You may be somewhat impatient in regards to matters pertaining to your career. You may have been, during your early childhood, you may have had some idea of conception, what livelihood you wanted, what career you may have desired. And also, too, career may be something first house related, Aries related, which can include firefighting, speech pathology, doing something, maybe like a physical therapist, doing something with the military, combat sports, any field that might require courage, or law enforcement are some examples. Now, Saturn in astrology is also connected with laborious work, which sometimes could be the career, and sometimes it's just about work that you do that's outside the career where you work very hard and you show a lot of industry. Now, when you have Saturn in the first house, a lot of that, that work, again, may be something that takes a strong toll on the physical body. You may expend a lot of energy and vitality. They may often be connected with new beginnings, and new beginnings may take more effort, more physical labor than most people on average. It could be doing something that may involve someone that was prominent in your early childhood, or a grandparent, as some examples. It can be too, where you have, the goal could also be when you have Saturn positive in the first house. Saturn is connected with the father, and this could be with Saturn in the first house. The father may have been at least seen, if not actually be, someone that was aggressive, or someone that is aggressive, assertive, courageous, very forthright and outspoken. It could be somebody that was instrumental in new beginnings for you and helping you, make a first impression on others. It could be where the person may be somewhat combative, or the father may take more of a toll on your physical body, your energy, your vitality, more so than most people on average as well. And it could also be, this is something too. The father may play more of a role in terms of your environment, more so than most people. And the thing about Saturn as well is that it has a connection. Well, it's not connection. Saturn does govern restrictions and limitations. So if you have Saturn positive in the first house in your natal chart, restrictions, and you may be someone that has more restrictions, limitations in connection with the physical body, more so than most people. Maybe there's some restriction in action or courage, or even embarking on new projects and endeavors. You may be someone with this placement, person that may, there may be some restrictions in your environment. You may be limited in terms of the environment you can be in, whether maybe due to some monetary situation or what have you, and even matters in your early childhood. There might have been something that was a limiting circumstance or what have you during that time. And another thing, or even with connection with the a grandparent as well. Now another thing, about this, Saturn, is also connected with fears. So, we have Saturn positive in the first house in natal chart. There may be some apprehension or worry or fear that's connected. It could be with confronting others, combat. It may have to do, taking action, embarking on new projects and endeavors. It could be, maybe even a grandparent or people prominent in your early childhood. It may be, something, also, the first house is also associated with the long distance, travel, of children, because keep in mind it's 9 houses from the fifth. So you may be more worried and apprehensive about these matters if you do have children, more so than most people on average. And it may be, the fear might be somehow connected with your own environment that you're in. And another thing is that when you have this placement, it could be just putting yourself out there may be something that you may be more apprehensive about, more so than most people on average. And the thing about this is, since the first house governs the physical body, having Saturn positive there, in some cases there may be issues, with the knees, the bones, the hamstrings, the gallbladder, the skin. In some cases, I have Saturn conjunct the ascendant, which is comparable to Saturn in the first house, and I have had issues with my knees as an example. And another thing, and also in some cases, the person may be a little bit thinner than otherwise indicated in your natal chart with this placement. I would say especially if Saturn is making a conjunction to the ascendant as well. Now, another thing about Saturn, it's connected with sorrow and despondency. So if you have Saturn positive in the first house in your chart, there may be more sorrow and despondency in connection with your early childhood. It could be just the environment you're in, or matters that are associated with your vitality, your energy, your appearance, your physical body. You may be somewhat down on your appearance, and whether it's warranted or justified or not based on your perception, you may be sadder about how you appear to others, and even matters, with first impressions that you make on others as well. And it could be issues with the grandparent or people that are prominent in your early childhood. Just generally your outlook on life may be a little bit more depressive, more negative. You may be more pessimistic than otherwise indicated in your chart. Now, Saturn is also associated with responsibilities. So when you have Saturn positive in the first house in the natal chart, there may be more responsibility in connection, with a grandparent, people prominent in their early childhood. It could be matters associated with your vitality, your energy, making that good first impression on others. You might be in a business where you're constantly, involved with people and meeting with people that are prominent somehow, and they may play a strong role in your business, and you may be constantly, you might be someone in some position where you're frequently, in a situation where you got to make that good first impression on others. And also, just in matters, again, with the physical body and your appearance as well, that may be more emphasized responsibility to those things more so than the average person. Now, the thing about this too is that Saturn is associated with chronic issues. So if you have Saturn positive in the first house, you may be someone that has chronic issues, and it could be connected with the head, the skull, the face, the brain, the eyes, and also just general issues with the vitality and your energy as well. And these chronic issues may play more of an integral role in terms of, embarking on new projects and endeavors, maybe even, a relationship with a grandparent or someone prominent in your early childhood. Anyway, people, that'll conclude this YouTube astrological segment. Until next time, Edwin Learnard saying, stay well.